Parentology is sponsored by Local Care Midwifery, PLLC. It's an independent midwifery practice operated by licensed midwife K. Michelle Doyle, serving the Capital District. Located at 213 Pauling Avenue, Troy. Call 518-238-3469. Also, Secure Image Systems, providing affordable security systems for your home, family, and business. You can view your property from anywhere in the world over a secured online system only you can access. Call 1-888-421-9626 or check out their website at secureimagesystems.com. And John DeLee Realty, located at 550 Hoosick Street in Troy, where experience and expertise come hand in hand with more personal attention. Visit johndeleerealty.com or call 518-271-1100. Also sponsored by Broadway Brew Pub and Grill. Great times, great food, great owners, and a great executive chef with a classy atmosphere. Enjoy cocktails and martinis while listening to music and eating the night away. Located right on Broadway in Troy.
First you're numb, and then you're proud. Your child is born, for crying out loud. It's a miracle, and yet your greatest fears come true. You're a parent, but you don't know what to do. Does this thing come with an instruction manual?
Hi, I'm Paula Gretzinger, and this is Parentology. Today we're talking about being a parent versus being a friend. Which one should come first and why? Also, do you think teachers, doctors, and parents are too quick to medicate children when it comes to ADHD? You'll hear what a pediatrician has to say about this. And how can you challenge your kids and have fun at the same time? Trainer Brett Klicka has some fun exercises for you and your child to do, and you don't have to leave your house. But first, let's meet Parentology's Parents of the Week.
Hi, I'm Rich Patterson. I'm the father of 2 grown sons, and I've been writing and doing parenting seminars around the country for about the last 30 years.
Hi, I'm the Sugar Bear, on-air personality for the new Crush 105.7 FM in Albany. Father of 3 wonderful children. My son is 21, my daughters are 18 and 16.
Are you supposed to be a parent or a best friend to your kids? There are parents who have a problem distinguishing the difference between the two. Parenting experts say that the lack of understanding can create setbacks in a relationship between a parent and a child. Joining me to talk about this are Sugar Bear, who is a father of 3 and on-air personality with 105.7 Crush FM, and Rich Patterson, father of 2 and also a children and family life specialist. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Welcome.
Why is it important to know the difference between the two?
Children need parents. They aren't born knowing their limits, knowing what is safe and what's not, knowing what's right and what's wrong, and they only learn that from their parents, hopefully. So if we don't teach it to them, if we don't give them that, they won't find it.
Well, we have a responsibility to guide them to become productive adults. And in doing so, you have to be a role model, and there needs to be boundaries. Mm-hmm. And one of the unfortunate things is that people believe that setting boundaries and restriction and structure is being mean. However, without that, children are going to be all over the place with no type of direction. And then to try to rein them in is the mistake, because my opinion has always been from day one that kid needs to know some structure. Without the structure piece, that's where I believe a lot of people make their mistakes, because they want to, you know, they get people telling them, oh, well, you don't want to be mean to your kid, you don't want to deprive your kid, but children need that kind of discipline and structure in order to be able to move on with their own lives.
That's right. I learned that again when my younger son was a junior in high school, and the high school invited a travel agency in to give them a presentation about a senior trip to Mexico. My son comes home and he wants to, everybody's going to go, Dad, you know, and this is our last time together, and you got to do it. Well, the brochure made it clear that Mexico didn't enforce its underage drinking laws, and that the adults who were going on the trip were not going to be chaperones of the children. So I can just see 17 and 18-year-old kids away from home for the first time, ending up in a Mexican jail.
Yes. Right.
And so I said to my son, no way. And of course, he wasn't very happy about
Thought
that.
you were the bad guy.
But that's what parents have to do for their kids. And he did go after he graduated from college. He went there and with some of his friends to that resort and had a great time. And he came home and he said, "Dad, I'm sure glad you didn't let me go at 18."
Now
And that's
he
the
sees
piece.
difference.
Yeah, that's the piece. You know, they don't really understand. And of
Yeah.
course, even us. You know, and one of the things as a parent is not to forget what it was like to be a child. And unfortunately,
Right.
a lot of parents do. But when you look back on it, when I look back on my childhood now as a grown man, I got my own kids, I sit and I'm like, man, I'm kind of glad my mother was like that. I'm kind of glad my father did that, because had they just let me do what I wanted and quote unquote been my friend as opposed to my parent, who knows what I'd be doing. We are charged to be a parent. That's our responsibility first and foremost.
So is there a point where it actually, that transition happens where it's not so much as a parent, where you're strict all the time and setting the rules, and it becomes more of a friendship, or
Yeah,
not really?
Definitely. I think one of the things I think we learn as parents is that as our children get older, we have to gradually let them obviously experience some independence. They want more than is comfortable for them, so we're always in that tension. Close in on the things that are most important and let go on some of the smaller things. And as our kids get older, I think they begin to respect the fact that we gave them both the limits that they needed and the freedom that they needed. And that respect becomes the basis for friendship when we get older with our children. Once they're out of the house and they're out from under our everyday control, I think that's when we can begin to develop some real friendships.
How strict do you think you were?
Structure and discipline are necessary. So strict is a relative term. And it's really like, it has a negative connotation when you say strict, but if you're really trying to develop a young adult into an adult, you know, there has to be some boundary. They've got to respect the boundary. And that's where it becomes more of an understanding, because once they get why you do what you do. So that's where some explanation comes into play, you know, because strict kind of is do what I say with no explanation.
Right.
You know, that
you're
friendship.
saying you should explain.
The friendship comes with some explanation. Now, again, eventually it may have to be, well, because I said so. But, you know, explanation is important.
How about when it comes to younger children, like a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, for example? Like, what explanation to certain things do you think they understand?
Well, it always has to be age appropriate and situation appropriate, your explanations. You know, I read a study one time that came out of the University of California, Berkeley, about parents. They found most parents have 3 parenting styles. The authoritarian style, which is one you just talked about. I said it, you do it, no questions. The other side is the permissive style. I don't care, go ahead, do whatever you like.
Right.
And in between, the one that raised the healthiest children is what they call the authoritative style, which I'm the parent, I make the decision, but I'm going to listen respectfully to your opinions and what your needs are, and let you express them with respect, and then I'll make the decision. And that makes a whole lot of difference to kids when they feel that you respect them enough to listen and to take into consideration what they think. That's the basis for friendship, when you have that respect built into your relationship.
And to kind of go back to the question about the younger children,
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that from day one, you've got to have that child understand their role in your life. You know, the child doesn't take over, they become a part of the family. My son, from the very beginning, I mean, we were young when he was born, so we were still doing
Learning
what
him.
young people do.
Right.
So he kind of just became a part of it. It's like, okay, you got to keep up. So we go to the restaurant, and it wasn't like we couldn't go out because we had a baby. He had to learn how to read the menu.
Of your life,
yeah,
not you
right. We
making
didn't
things
revolve.
around-
Right. The children become a part of the family, and the family. This is what we do as a family. So on Saturday we go out. Okay, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna be quiet. You don't see people putting their feet in the table and running around the restaurant and screaming and yelling. You're gonna get the menu. You're gonna speak up for what you want, and that's how I raised all 3 of my children. You know, it was really that kind of like, look, this is what we do. you're a part of this. We're not stopping the world to get on your lane. It's our lane, because they're children, so they need to just kind of, and it helps them become more mature and be more independent and all those kinds of things, because it drives me crazy to go into a grocery store and this kid is demanding their parent, buy me this, do this, screaming, yelling, throwing tantrums. If my kids ever threw a tantrum, trust me, I know they talk about all these laws. I need a judge to come to my house and tell me what I shouldn't be doing when I'm paying rent. And I'm not talking about being abusive or any of that. But if I'm paying the rent and I'm the one that's running this show, you need to abide by the rules.
Last advice that you would like to give to parents watching this show today?
To tell themselves every day, I will be the person I want my child to become. You know, I will be the person I want my child to become. Model it and explain it. And that's the most powerful way, I think, to raise the kind of children that we want to have.
They will follow
we work on ourselves first. We're the most important person to our children. We work on ourselves, make ourselves the person we want them to be, and then show it to them.
We are charged to help them grow into productive adults. That's our mission, that's our goal. And it takes some nurturing, it takes some discipline, it takes some love, it takes some caring. It also takes some of that structure and strictness in order to get this young person into a productive member of society. And that's our mission. So as parents, that's first and foremost.
And friendship will come later.
Yeah,
friendship comes
later.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. If you have a question about being a parent versus being a friend, or if you have a question for Sugar Bear or Rich Patterson, just log on to my website, parentologywithpaula.com. Coming up, how you can treat a child with ADHD. And does everyone have ADHD? You'll hear what a pediatrician says about this.